This is the closing market report for Monday on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. On the phone right now with Bill Moore of Price Futures Group as we wrap up another day in the ag marketplace. Bill, what have we seen going on in the grain and livestock markets today?
Well, we got a big boost, particularly in the soys. July beans up 20 cents. Look at the chart of beans. The highest they've been came out of a range they've been in for 2 months from mid-March until the beginning of May, about 6 weeks maybe. And highest close they've had should they close here going back to early March. Two reasons for it. One is it looks like the summit between U.S. and China scheduled in Beijing for mid-May, 15th of May, despite the war, is going to be on. And that implies maybe they'll be buying some beans from us in front of that summit. That's one thing. Secondly, there was talk in Iran that one of the U.S. ships was attacked. Not sure it happened or not. That raised the crude oil, and that also rallied the soys. Trump's got a new program in Iran called Project Freedom, where he guides commercial ships out of the Strait of Hormuz. It's supposed to be a military humanitarian effort, but Iran's taken a dim view of that, and maybe they've fired at one of the ships. I'm not sure, but in any case, crude oil jumped up midday. Stock market dropped hard, and the grains, that helped the grain rally. With the energies up, the grains, have been following them quite a bit. Thinking that even now, looking at the energy's up $3 to $4. It was lower earlier today, and you look at the stock market because of that, it's down 450 to 500. So that was an intraday thing that's helping. We did have very good export inspections this morning, 264,000 corn, 10 a.m. inspections. Corn was 2.027 million metric tons. Last week, 1.6. Beans, 450,000. Wheat, 434. So those are good numbers. The three factors impacting the grains going forward, again, is the Straits of Hormuz. We saw that, the Strait of Hormuz, we saw that today with something happened over there and the crude rallied sharply. The spring planting, which we'll get an update today at 3 o'clock. It's over the 5-year average, expecting 40% of the corn to be in. And the U.S.-China summit, which, despite the war, looks to be on for the middle of May, and that's helped beans and the corn. So a good day in the grains right now. Corn up 5.5, beans up 18 to 19, wheat up about 2 to 5. Livestock-wise, when the stock market took the nosedive, that impacted the livestock. June cattle down $1. They'd already come off their highs on a correction from downside reversal last week. So the market's further correcting at off record levels. It was overbought, mostly because of crude going up, the stock market going down. Stock market means less disposable income for meats and more for gas. And that impacted the meats today. The hog market is still in the doldrums. It went down today with the cattle. June hogs down $1.50. They made new lows for the move. They just can't get out of their own way. There's no demand there. There was some talk of detection of, we call it pseudo-rabies, would mean we wouldn't be able to export as much pork. Demand just isn't there, and it just continues the ongoing saga of the hogs hugging their lows while the cattle are hugging their highs. And it's kind of a head scratch. You don't see it too often, but we've had this happen for quite a while. Eventually, the worm will turn, but it sure hasn't turned yet.
All right, Bill, lots of great information today. For anybody who would like to get in touch for more marketing information and check out your newsletter, how can they do that?
630-947-5176. WMoore@PriceGroup.com. Check out my newsletter, Agmaster, or www.pricegroup.com, the company website. Look at the bios of Jack Scoville and myself. We've both been there a long time. We'd love to help you out.
That again was Bill Moore of Price Futures Group. We'll look at the numbers next.
In rural Iowa, you need reliable information. The Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network brings you ag-specific content like market trends, weather outlooks, and policy updates that matter to your operation, while your local station brings you community news and consistent updates on what is happening in your area. It's a partnership built for the challenges of rural life. Your farm, your local station, and your friends at the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, where Iowa Ag matters. Find us online at iowaagnet.com.
At the close, July corn up 5.5 at 485 3/4. December new crop up 5 3/4 at 504 1/2. July soybeans up 19.5 at 1222 3/4. November new crop up 14 even at 1196 3/4. July soybean meal up $1.60 at $3.20.90. Soybean oil up $1.37 at $76.53. Chicago wheat up 3 1/4 at $6.41 even. Kansas City hard red winter wheat unchanged at $6.94 1/2. Minneapolis spring wheat down 5 even at $6.99 even. July oats up 7 1/2 at $3.59 1/2. On the Merc, June live cattle down $1.25 at $251.75. May feeders down $4.80 at $366.60. May lean hogs down $1.20 at $91.62. May pork cutout down $1.12 at $107.65. And May Class 3 milk down 12 cents at $16.96. That's been a check of the closing market prices. Thanks again to Bill Moore of Price Futures Group for joining us today here on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, where Iowa Ag matters. I'm Riley Smith.